Alright, well, in my infinite wisdom, this entire recording has no game audio. Not that it's really that important because I'm just voicing my thoughts about the topic of discussion, but it's like, it's so annoying. Anyways, apologies for that, and hope you can still manage to enjoy the video. Alright, hello and welcome back to Modern Warfare 2, and before I get started today, I just want to quickly update my progress on the LMGs. So I got the second gold earlier today, and right now I'm working on the HCR. I think I have the gold challenge unlocked, right? Yeah, I need 6 more triple kills, and then I can move on to the next gun, which is the... What is the next gun? It's the Icarus. Okay, that should be super easy. But yeah, it was leaked. I don't know. I saw a video of it literally before I started recording, and it's been seemingly leaked that the premium content thing that we're getting in 2023 for Call of Duty is actually going to be a separate game and not like a DLC expansion thing. And I'll get into my feelings about that later, but it's apparently going to be developed by Sledgehammer, which is, you know, I think... Wow, that's really loud. I think, I don't remember what the cycle was. Was it always Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer? I think it was. Oh, it's good. Oh. That was infected enemy. He ran around me. I was like, oh, that's a teammate. And then he just assassinated me like we're playing Halo Reach. But, yeah. So it'll be interesting because I guess technically they're switching up the cycle that they would normally do, which would be Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and then Sledgehammer. And then, you know, it would go back around to Infinity Ward again, but... Wow, I got really lucky. Oh! Alright, the enemies are spawning here, it's fine. But, it's been... I don't know... I just watched the video and I can't remember the details about it, but I don't know whether it was specifically going to be more Modern Warfare content, like, you know, quote-unquote Modern Warfare 3 or whatever, but, I won't lie, I don't think this is a uncommon sentiment, but I was kind of... It actually makes me kind of like sad because I was kind of excited that Call of Duty was going to take 2 years to make their games instead of just one, and then, you know, constantly putting out a game every single year and having progress reset because, you know, it's a new game and whatever. But I killed that guy several times already. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like conflicted about how I feel because on one hand, it's like you could argue that every single new Call of Duty that's released is like just an updated version of the game with more maps and more guns. And, you know, maybe a different setting. But, yeah, it's also going to be kind of weird if it is more Modern Warfare stuff, which that's what I'm assuming it is. Because I think the idea is that it shifted from being like a DLC type thing to being a full-fledged game. So I think that's where the, like, it's more Modern Warfare stuff idea is coming from. So it's gonna be kind of weird because obviously, you know, every developer has their own, like, things that they do. You know, Treyarch has the Black Ops stuff, and then Infinity Ward had Modern Warfare, and, you know, they all had their, you know, other things that they've made in the past, but, you know, those are like their main things that they're known for. And then the Sledgehammer kind of just makes whatever. They've made like super future jetpack shooters and also World War II shooters. It's super weird. But yeah, it's gonna be... Why am I looking at the sky? It's gonna be really weird having Call of Duty 2 years in a row being more like the same franchise. That would be like there being 2 Black Ops games in a row, but they're developed by different people. It's super weird. Can I stop getting flash, please? Oh wow, I killed that guy. Oh, well, we lost. I think I'll play one more for the one time. But yeah, I don't really know what to think, because like, I don't hate Modern Warfare 2. I just wish like they would, you know, maybe address some of the like gameplay issues, you know, for the multiplayer. They've been doing like, you know, a lot of changing of things for Warzone and DMZ and whatnot, but I don't know, it feels like we're just kind of stuck with the way the multiplayer is at the moment, which is not in an awful state by any means. But it's like, I don't think it's as enjoyable as people would have wanted it to be, and especially with the idea that we were going to get a OG Modern Warfare DLC, which would add a whole bunch of multiplayer maps to the game. You know, I feel like people were really excited for that, but now the idea that we're gonna get that content, but in a new game where we have to reset all of our progress and whatnot, just feels odd. Like, I feel like if it is not a DLC, it's gonna feel like a DLC that's just $70. because it's just more Modern Warfare. See, at least when they're separated by multiple years from the different studios doing their thing, it feels like, oh, okay, yeah, so whenever a few years pass and we can use the Modern Warfare like name again in the setting, it like, oh, it makes sense because it's been a few years. It makes sense for it to be a different game, but like, because they're so close in terms of time, it feels weird. It's like, why not just make it a DLC? You know, in my mind, like, best case scenario, it's a DLC. You know, and you obviously have the issue of like separating the player base from people who have the content and people who don't, but I feel like that's a lot better than separating players via an entire game. I don't know. I'm just rambling kind of at this point. I didn't even check what my progress was. Also, I keep forgetting to mention this every time I record a video, but just totally have nothing to do with what I was just talking about right now. I was watching a bunch of Chainsaw Man videos about like the story and whatever. And yeah, just randomly related to that, I remember a while ago I made a video and one of the things I mentioned was like, oh yeah, people are using Out of Touch by Hollow Notes whenever like Aki and the Angel Devil are on the screen. And I just realized, like, not just realized, I realized a little bit after I made that video, which was like a month ago or something, I don't remember. But the reason that people use that song is because, you know, the line is, you're out of touch, I'm out of time. Because the Angel Devil can't touch anybody or else they lose their lifespan, like, drastically. And Aki is obviously out of time because he has 2 years to live. Yeah, I just realized that. It kind of blew my mind when I found that out. But yeah, I really don't know how to feel about the leaked news. Now, granted, it could all be not true, but anything about Call of Duty that gets leaked, I feel like is pretty much on the money when it comes to leaks. Oh, yeah, it's a sniper. But yeah, I guess that's this is a sign for me to fucking get my ass in gear and complete this camo grind. I mean, I guess it's a lot better. This is me trying to find the silver lining and coping super hard. It's a lot better than how it used to be, where like all the game's progressions and things were all separate from each other up until Modern Warfare 2019 came out, where Modern Warfare 2019 and then every game that came out after that was interconnected via Warzone. And so, you know, you could use all your guns and camos that you've unlocked throughout, you know, 2019, Cold War, Vanguard. You could use those in Warzone. And so, you know, they kind of like all the stuff that you unlocked in these separate games like coexists in Warzone, which, I mean, if you're not a fan of Battle Royale or DMZ now, I guess that's going to be kind of an issue, but...
Did I hear D&D?
No, you did not hear D&D. I said DMZ, you fucking nerd. My brother just walked in the room and said, did I hear D&D? God, I'm so bewildered by what just happened that I got murdered right there. I mean, I don't know if this is even possible, but I feel like one way they could like potentially like lessen the, I don't know, like not good feeling people probably have about this announcement would be like, if it was possible, because all the stuff, you know, going forward for however many years they decide to support it, all the stuff that you unlock in the separate games is usable in Warzone 2 and, you know, DMZ and whatnot. So if it's all usable in that, then would it not be possible to also have all the weapons and all the operators be usable in the multiplayer? Especially since it's on a all the games are on a unified engine now. But then it's weird because like obviously an engine doesn't determine like, you know, how the game feels to play. Like all those things can be further fine-tuned and tweaked just past what the engine is by default. So, you know, obviously like Treyarch's games and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer's games all feel different to play despite the fact that they're on very similar engines. And even now, they're on, like, the same engine. So, I mean, things like weapon balance and player movement would be different in all the multiplayer games. But, I don't know. Like, if it's all usable in Warzone and all those, like, player systems are unified and whatnot, like, I don't know, would it not be possible to also do that for multiplayer? Like, I feel like that would be, like, a big, like, morale boost to like people who like multiplayer, because you know they've been getting, you know, the shaft recently when it comes to, you know, attention and updates from the developers. Maybe not intentionally, but you know, because Warzone and DMZ, or more so Warzone, are the big popular things, especially being free and whatnot. But I don't know. Like, I guess in my perfect world, it's like every new Call of Duty release would just be like huge content updates in a overall Call of Duty game that's just continuously updated, kind of like CoD Online. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but I don't know. Also, this video is going to be slightly longer than my videos normally are because I played 2 games. I also just exploded. Wow, this gun feels like it does no damage. The SACM is just ripping through people, and this feels like it's not doing that. Wow. I've also been talking the whole time, which is kind of rare, actually. You know, it's very rare that I have something to talk about for this length of time, but when I do, it's, you know, I guess that's just how it works out sometimes. But, yeah, if you're watching this video and you've gotten this far, I'm curious, like, what are your opinions on this potential news that, you know, we're seemingly not getting a 2-year cycle for Call of Duty games like we were initially led to believe? Granted, that was just leaked, and I don't think that was actually confirmed. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. But, I don't know. Like, I said this already, but I was personally really, like, excited at the potential of what, like, that would do to Call of Duty just in general as, like, a series. And I feel like a lot of people were, at the very least, curious about, like, how that would play out. Because I don't think anybody, like, let's say they were 2 years long. I don't think anybody would be upset at the idea of every Call of Duty having like a one big paid DLC thing, you know, in addition to the original launch game. But I don't know. Oh, look at that, I got gold, yeah! I was talking and dying this whole time that the one time I focused and got kills was the final time I actually needed to do it. Let's go. And we won. But it's also weird because usually, like, I remember, like, this time last year, people were, like, really excited about Modern Warfare 2 and just a new Call of Duty game coming out. But this time, granted, it's barely February, so I don't know when news about, you know, the next Call of Duty game usually comes out, but I feel like people are usually a lot more excited, especially if it's Treyarch or Infinity Ward. Let me know how you feel down in the comments about this news, because I'm kind of like skeptical and kind of like hesitant about this whole deal in general. But yeah, before I end the video, let me go to my HCR, and it's gold. We did it! Yay! I'm a gamer. Yeah, it's kind of like, I'll just end it with this thought here. It's kind of like odd that, you know, people were kind of hoping that the games would be 2 years instead of just 1. And especially with Modern Warfare 2, you know, needing to be launching in a state that was not ideal to most people, whether you played Warzone or regular multiplayer. And yeah, just the lack of like updates and content. Again, especially in multiplayer with like maps and whatever. You know, like 2 years would probably be like, you know, people would find that really appealing because then that would be more time to update and fix the game and then enjoy it. But Activision seemingly does not want to do that. I don't know. I was really looking forward to the whole 2-year thing, but again, this is just leaked. It's probably true. But yeah, we'll see how that pans out later this year. Much later this year. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribing to the channel would be much appreciated. I think that's gonna do it for me today. And yeah, later.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3.
Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one.